thank you all for being here. As we went through the process, one thing that I promised Coach Mook was that he would have incredible fan support here at WT, and I think this is the first demonstration of that support. So thank you all for being here today. I want to take just a couple of minutes before I turn it over to him. That's who we all really want to hear from. But to talk a little bit about the process and why we ultimately selected Michael as our next head coach. First of all, when we were looking at the softball standpoint, his winning percentage as a head coach of about 85%, touch over that, certainly stood out to us. And to have a nationally competitive program that he built himself, with the help of his assistants and his players, of course, but to have a nationally competitive program that what he built up in a very short time at Valley City State furthered my interest. And then to learn that he spent 7 years at Augustana, a great Division II program as an assistant, learning under one of the very best softball coaches in the country. To me, that showed me that he was able to take what he learned there and apply it in a college setting at Valley City and build a nationally competitive program in a very short amount of time. As we got to talk further through the process from the softball side, knowledge of the game is off the charts, way, way above mine. That's not hard to do, but as we put him with some other softball savvy people, it became very clear that the knowledge of the game, he lives and breathes the game, and also brings to us expertise from the pitching standpoint, which I think is critically important. In addition, the areas that he has experience in recruiting, I think, open up a couple of different markets for us to attract students to this great university. Our basic lack of an out-of-state tuition enables us to recruit nationwide, and for me it was important to be able to hire someone who could take advantage of our admissions process and our very low out-of-state tuition, and Michael certainly brings that to us. So once I had the softball side figured out, it became whether or not he was a man of character, integrity, would fit in the community. And I got to tell you, I don't know, no offense to the other coaches in the room, because we have some great coaches, but I couldn't find anybody to say a bad thing about him. Former players that played for him, parents who had students that play for him, administrators, coaches that coach with him, against him, all had great things to say. So Michael and I spent more time talking, and I had him meet with other people on staff, and I think he's just a tremendous fit for us. He's very humble, hardworking. He's a grinder, and I have to give you this example of a grinder. He was going down to Oklahoma City for, I guess, his travel ball?
A little bit, and the College World Series.
And the College World Series, that's right. And reached out and said, we'd already had our first interview, and we knew that there was something there, and he said, hey, I'm coming down. If you have time, I'll just come over. So we said, sure. And so he came over, and we did a campus visit, interviewed with the people, and Dr. Winter, and loved him. And as we were leaving, wrapping things up, he said, we asked what he was going to do. He was going to drive back to North Dakota. And this was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5:30 in the afternoon, and Coach Dudley was helping me with the tour. And so we did, where are you going to spend the night? Well, no, you weren't going to spend the night. He had to get back for one of their fundraising golf tournaments at Valley City. I think he had a tee time at 1 o'clock, and he pulled in just about 90 minutes before that. So he drove all night to get back to meet the commitment for his golf tournament. But in the middle of that night, at 1:30 in the morning, everybody who he met with that day got a thank you email from him. He had stopped off and said, I guess you didn't do that while you were driving. But he stopped off and took time to send thank you emails to each of us that had met with him during that day. And that also told me a couple of things there. Man of great character, but also will do whatever it takes to get the job done. And that fits with a fan base that wants to do whatever it takes to get the job done. So I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to turn this over to Coach Michael Mook, and welcome Michael to WT.
Thank you. First off, I just want to say thanks to Michael and everybody else that was on the selection committee, and everybody that just has made me feel welcomed here. To me, that's one of the most important things to me, is to be in a community that feels like home. And kind of by the time I had left my visit here, that was the one thing that I took away, was it feels like home. And I'm from a small town in Wisconsin. It's a lot colder there, but the people are very similar. And again, to me, that's a huge thing. Got a chance to meet with some of the players this morning. They are awesome. I can't wait to get started. I feel very blessed to be here, the facilities here, just the people. I couldn't be more excited to get things going.